What's the best way to transition into the new normal with your retirement intact? Joining me to discuss this topic is Rob Williams, Vice President of Financial Planning at Charles Schwab. So, Rob, what are some of the tips and tricks that people might use right now to keep their retirement intact?
Bob, this is certainly unusual times with a lot of stress in the market, et cetera. But yeah, at Schwab, we found that retirement's always stressful. When we talk to our clients, there's always concern about whether they've saved enough, how they invested, et cetera. So we've been talking about 5 items I can go through quickly that make sense to us. And the first really is start with a financial plan. So that sounds a little bit like going to the dentist, maybe, to some people. And what does it mean? You can ask 5 people and they have different interpretations. But really what it means is you've been saving for retirement. We want to break into parts. Do you have some short-term goals and still, even when you're about to retire, long-term goals? So that's something we tend to emphasize in a plan. When are you going to need your money? How much have you saved? You're going to need some money in the first couple of years of retirement, but some also, years from now. So that's what it means to go back to a financial plan. And, one thing we're seeing right now is people's risk. We talk about risk tolerance. Look, risk tolerance kind of goes up and down with markets. I think, if it's down, we feel bad. If it's up, we feel good. Risk capacity is really an important issue when it comes to planning, especially for retirement. Point 2 is cash. So this is not just true of retirees, but let's say kids, you got kids going to college soon. You don't want to be invested fully in the market if your kids are going to be going to college in a year. We see that a lot. People say stay the course, but not if you need money soon. So having some everyday cash is really important. We suggest having a year of spending for any goal, but retirement in particular in cash. And then you can invest more aggressively. And it's important to have stocks, bonds, cash, different kinds of bonds as well. But if you start with that cash, you can start to invest from there. Seems like a long time ago, but the Secure Act passed back in, when was that? The end of December, early January. And that made some pretty important changes for retirees that we've been talking about a lot. One is just changes in the RMD age. So if you turn 70 and a half in 2019, you can delay and not take RMDs until you're 72. Now, most people may need to take them earlier or take distributions even before the RMD age. But if you've saved quite a bit and have more assets than you need, that provides some flexibility. The CARES Act, which has provisions in it to take early withdrawals from a retirement account, you can do it if there's an emergency before age 59 and a half, and it may be really tempting to do it. We really suggest not taking early retirement withdrawals if you can. The market's recovered. We see ups and downs since March 23rd when the market bottoms. And if you're not in the market for retirement, you're not going to benefit for that for your long-term plans. Mm-hmm. And the 5th and last one is really long-term. Health crisis, very stressful. But another area in planning for retirees is stressful is legacy planning. And so reviewing your legacy plan, it's not pleasant to talk about, but COVID-19 puts everybody at risk. We can reflect on our own mortality. So it's a great time to look at your assets, your debt, put your wishes in writing, healthcare directives, all of those things. So those are 5 points that we think are particularly timely right now for someone who's in retirement, getting close to retirement, to sort of get their finances in order.
All right. Rob, thanks ever so much for sharing those tips. I'm sure that will help a lot of people reduce some anxiety that they might have right now.
Thanks, Bob.